Wow. Good afternoon, everybody. It's day 11 on our value system change agenda. I want to become a better person in 2018. And I believe that many of us are writing things down now. This is what I want to do in 2018. This is what I did in 2017. Thank you, sir. Pastor Sunday, thank you, sir. And we have a very, very important subject to examine this afternoon. The most important issue of our life. After God, the next most important thing in your life and my life is our health. There is nothing more important than your health and my health. And as Africans scattered across different parts of the world, we have a big problem on our hands now. A big problem on our hands. Many of us do not know how to manage our body and our health appropriately. Your body and your health means a lot to the fulfillment of your destiny, the fulfillment of your career goals. There is virtually nothing you can achieve if your health breaks down. There is virtually nothing you can achieve when you're sick. Now, your body and my body are the garments that have been given to us to execute our goals in life, our plans in life, our destiny, our career. There is nothing you can achieve in life when you are sick and on the bed of sickness. God forbid. That will not be your portion in Jesus' name. So I want to encourage my friends listening to me from different parts of the world today that the state of our health and our general body metabolism is of utmost priority. And as you go into 2018, we've just got to do things right. We've got to do things right. Many of us are careless with our bodies, including myself. Many of us overwork ourselves. Many of us treat our body like a mechanical equipment. When a mechanical equipment breaks down, you go into the store, you buy another part, you hook them together, or you apply lubricants, or whatever. Sometimes our bodies are not like that. When certain aspects of our bodies and health break down, sometimes they do so irretrievably. And so I want us to become more responsible with what becomes of our health. Now, enough of pushing things on God and saying God is going to take care of everything. The grace of God is available. By the stripes of Jesus I am healed. And it is better to prevent sickness than to maintain sickness. It is better to prevent sickness than to maintain sickness. You have heard this statement before. Prevention is better than cure. It is a very, very, very valid statement. Prevention is better than cure. Now, I did some statistics. I actually collated some statistics, and I discovered that as of today, Africa has the lowest life expectancy. Africa has the lowest life expectancy. Life expectancy measures how long people live on Earth. So comparatively with people in Asia, people in America, people in Australia, people in Europe, many people in Africa don't live long as much as people living in those countries. So they took a kind of an average. They did a kind of a poll and they picked an average person in Europe, an average person in Asia, an average person in Africa, and in other parts of the world. And they found that Africans they don't live as long as the other people live. And I'm not surprised about these statistics, because obviously I've read a lot about this in the past. There are so many things responsible for this low life expectancy. And over the last 11 months, 12 months, I have personally lost 2-3 different people. Some of them are close friends. One of them is not a close friend. And by the time you trace the reasons behind the untimely death of many people, sicknesses and diseases, many of us have a lot of work to do with our health. Africans don't manage their body and their health properly. Africans don't manage their health and their bodies properly. You have a responsibility to do the best thing possible to take care of your health. When health breaks down, visions and dreams break down. When health breaks down, families are torn apart. Finances are affected. Work is affected. Business is affected. When health breaks down, everything comes to a standstill. And so, if you have mismanaged your body in 2017, I want you to have a rethink. Let us make an intentional promise to ourselves that as I am going into 2018, I am going to take very good care of my body. Jumping into the plane, jumping to the train, running around, writing proposals, going for meetings, going for conventions, going to conferences, all of these things are at the mercy of your health and my health. There are many people locked inside the four walls of hospitals, not because they are worse sinners than you and I, but because their health broke down. And when your health breaks down, you cannot sustain anything. There is virtually nothing you can do when your health breaks down. Africans are poor managers of their health. This is a proven scientific research, not a figment of my imagination. Africans are poor health managers. We don't take care of our bodies. And that is the result of the low life expectancy that Africa has been attributed with. People from Nigeria, from South Africa, from Ghana, from Togo, and every part of Africa, they did an average, they did a statistics, and they carried out a research and came out with a scaring statistic. Africans have the lowest life expectancy. In other words, Africans die earlier than other people. A very, very serious issue. Let me read the statistics to you. Average life expectancy of people living in Nigeria is 53 years. That's an average Nigerian man will die at 53. God forbid. Average man in Ivory Coast dies at 51. Average man in Liberia dies at 60. Average man in Zimbabwe dies at 57. Average man in Kenya dies at 62. Algeria and Tunisia have the highest life expectancy in Africa. People in Algeria die at 75 on the average. People in Tunisia die at 72 on the average. And there is no single African country that can match any country in Europe, in America, in North America, and in Asia in terms of life expectancy. This is a very serious issue. And when people begin to die earlier than they should die, you know the consequences. It means that people's dreams and visions and goals and plans don't get into maturity before they die. When people die, everything ends. Someone else takes over your dreams and your vision. The person lives up to 55 and dies again. And that creates a lot of backlog of unfulfilled dreams, backlogs of unfulfilled vision in the African continent, backlogs of businesses that have not reached their maturity stage, backlogs of uncompleted hospitals, uncompleted projects, because majority of the people that should complete this project, they don't live long. You must take care of your body. Your body is your athlete jackets. When there is fire in a house, the occupants jump out. When the body is not conducive for the spirit and the soul, they will give way to one another. That is something that many of us do not know because we over spiritualize the matter of our health. God is in control. No, God is not in control. You are in control. You are in control of your body. If you decide to eat poison today, God will not stop you. If you decide not to take your bath for the next 3 years, God will not stop you. Every human being is a free moral agent. God doesn't force anything on us, even though He's God and He has all the power to do anything. But you have absolute responsibility over your body. You must take good care of your body. You must take good care of your body. And I'm going to be looking at so many areas. Everything that has to do with your life. The food you eat, the clothes you wear, the places you go, where you sleep. Every one of these things work together to determine how long you will live. I am a pastor and I'm a Christian, and there is no human being on earth that can determine the date anybody is going to die. We all trust God to give us long life, but you have a duty and a role as an individual to place premium, to give the way you manage your body utmost priority. There is no amount of money in the world that can compensate for bad health. There is no amount of money in the world that can compensate for bad health. When the health of a man fails, there is no amount of money in the world that can replace the health. They may use the money you have to admit you to hospital and treat you, but you cannot give money in an there is no trade-off. You can't trade off your body. You can't trade it off with money. Take all my money and give me my body. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And so I have a burden in my heart to educate and to encourage some of my friends listening to me. Please kindly help me share this message. Just click share in your timeline. A lot of us need to do an inventory of the way we manage our body, including myself. An inventory. Sometimes many of us turn over the key of the management of our body to God because we are Christians, and we use prophecies to replace personal responsibility. God has said that I shall not die but live. That is true. That's in the scripture. But if you drink poison, you kill yourself. Oh, the Bible has said this, I said that, I said this, I said that. You have primary responsibility over what becomes of your body. Over what becomes of your body. There is a very popular pastor that lived in China several years ago. The man was used by God. The man was very anointed. The man preached and traveled around the whole of Asia, did fantastic thing. And the man said something when he was dying. This man died at 33. The man said something. The name of that man is Watchman Nee. He said, God gave me a message and God gave me a body to deliver the message. But I killed the body before delivering the message. If I use the word donkey, God gave me a message and he gave me a donkey to deliver the message. But I killed the donkey before delivering the message. He died at 33. When health breaks down, vision breaks down. When health breaks down, vision breaks down. Every other thing you will become in life is at the mercy of your health and my health. And so I want to provoke you this afternoon to take the matter of your health, your body, everything seriously. Don't over spiritualize the state of your health. Don't turn the key of the management of your body over to God. Don't turn it over to God. Now let me tell you something. In 2015, life expectancy was around 72 years globally. And women lived at around 74 years before they died. And men lived at around 69 years before they died. So the conclusion is this: women live longer than men. You know, somebody was cracking a joke with me and was saying that you better enjoy yourself very well. Even when you are 90-year-old, your wife will reach 100 if Jesus tarries. It is a proven scientific evidence that women live longer than men. Women live longer than men. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a nurse. Maybe many of you listening to me will understand the reasons why that happens. But women are found to live longer than men. That is why it is very important for a man to marry a good wife. That is why if you marry a bad woman, you will cut short the few years that you have to live on earth. Now, the number of years men live on earth are few. When I'm saying few, that is a relative statement. 80 years is few. 90 years is few. It depends on what you are comparing it with. So if your wife lives up to 120 and you live 100, you live fewer years than her. So I'm not saying people are going to die at 50 or 40. No, by the grace of God, we are going to live long and fulfill our destiny. But what I'm saying is this: if you now marry a bad woman and she's even going to live longer than you, you are in more trouble, because that woman will make, instead of you living up to 75, 80, she can cut it short. And the same thing can happen to a woman as well. A woman generally lives longer. I have heard the story of many women who marry bad men, and the longer years that they should have lived for were cut short. Now, I'm not going to marriage now. Maybe before the end of this series, I will deal with a marriage. We are having a marriage conference on Saturday, the 16th of December. We're going to broadcast it live. Please connect with it. It's going to bless you tremendously. Now, look at something. What are the factors contributing to life expectancy in Africa? Why do people of Africa live lesser? They don't live as much as long as people in Europe. What are the factors? Now, some of these things are common to us. You know what I'm talking about. But let's talk about them again and shift focus on them. Many times we see things and we trivialize them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean. But when we come together and we lay more emphasis on these things, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of you listening to me, you find one of these things common in your life. You cannot touch them. You cannot touch them. Access to good food and clean water. Access to good food and clean water. You want to argue this out with me that many Africans eat well, have uncontrolled access to good food and clean water. Good food and clean water. Now let me ask you a question today. What kind of food have you eaten this morning? I am guilty of the same thing. Now I want to see a man one day and was telling me, what do I understand to mean the word breakfast? The Englishman coined out the word breakfast. You know what breakfast means? It means that you have been fasting overnight. So when you wake up in the morning, you should eat. You should break your fast. That is why they call it breakfast. So when you skip your breakfast, when you're not fasting, and you don't eat it like many of us do, including myself, we eat breakfast at 11:12. You are breaking a major law of balanced diet. And because many of us, we think that because our body is in us under our control, we do anything we like, eat at any time. Many of us don't read information and documentaries about balanced diet. We eat all kinds of food. And because our body is composed of living cells. Some of these living cells, they don't respond, they don't generate any issue until later in years. When someone is closer to becoming a great person, when someone is about to get an award, and then they begin to spot sickness in their body. That will not be your portion in Jesus' name. What I'm saying this morning, this afternoon is this. What do you do about your feeding habits? Scientists have told us that access to good food and clean water can prolong men's life or can shorten their life. Now, do you want to continue to drink bad water? Bad water. I was speaking to a missionary, a Nigerian missionary who goes into villages doing tremendous work. And he was telling me there was no water for him to drink, that he drinks from the mud. I screamed. I said, why can't you organize a means of transporting water or doing something? Maybe we can contribute money and give you money, and then you dig a borehole or do something, or you boil the water. And then he was actually rationalizing this thing and telling me that he has faith in God, that God will help him to disinfect the water. Now, there are people I know of who, by virtue of their present circumstance, God performed miracles. They drank bad water, it didn't affect them. They ate poisoned food, it didn't affect them. But now, when you deliberately continue to live over bad water and bad food on a consistent basis, you are destroying yourself. It is always better to prevent sickness than to cure sickness. Prevention is always better than cure. The consequences, the trouble, the financial crisis, the societal, the embarrassment society, the stigma, all of which come upon a man or a woman that is nursing a sickness, they are not worth to be encountered. They are not worth to be encountered. As Africans, let us give priority to the kind of food and water we eat and drink. Bad hygiene has also been identified as a critical issue. Bad hygiene. Bad hygiene. How clean is your environment? Now, some of these things are simple things that primary school students should be talking about. We're adults. But let me tell you something. You'll be amazed when you see the kind of life many people in Africa are living. Older people, mature people. You see the environment where they're living. It was when I came to Europe many years back that I knew the values of going into a toilet and washing your hands when you come out. Now, I am not saying that Africans don't do that. I'm an African too. We wash our hands when we go into the toilet. But years ago, that was not part of our value system. Because in so many African countries, in different parts of North Africa, East Africa, many years back, they didn't have access to modern toilets. They didn't have access to modern toilets. So there was nothing like a disinfectant or toilet soap or whatever. Everybody just did whatever they liked. Everybody was an innovator. You know what it means to be an innovator? When you want to go and use the toilet. I'm speaking of 30 years ago, 40 years ago. When many of us were growing up, more than 40 years ago, the level of attention to details in terms of disinfecting your environment, it was just growing. Of course, in our generation now, virtually every corner, every modern city, every cosmopolitan city in Africa are at the same level. I mean, with what we find in Europe. I mean, but what I'm saying is this: it looks as if it's a very simple thing. If you take a microscope and you look at the doorknob of a toilet, people are going in, they are going out. You will see viruses and bacteria on it. Our eyes cannot see them. So when you go to the toilet, you don't wash your hands and you open the door. Let's assume 500 people have gone into that toilet in a day. Everybody is depositing bacteria on the doorknob, and bacteria are being transferred. So when you go out and you want to shake somebody's hands, you transfer the bacteria to that person. That is how diseases spread across Africa. It looks so small. It looks so childish. What is this man talking about? I'm an adult. I know I should wash my hands. Not all adults know that they must wash their hands. And consequently, diseases enter into people's body and begin to destroy their immune system. People fall sick and they put the blame on the devil. The devil is afflicting me. My parents are afflicting me. It was when I shook Brother Johnson's hand that my hand began to shake. No, it was the collection of bacteria that worked together that affected your hand. But you did not know, because those bacteria will not work immediately. They work after 3 weeks or after 2 months. Bad hygiene is a major problem in Africa. And to make matters worse, Africa is blessed by the devil with bad leaders. Bad leaders that have virtually no focus, virtually no vision for building the environment to taste. Many of these leaders go to America, go to Canada, and they go into washrooms. There was one years back, about 12 years ago, I was in South Africa, and I went to a student's toilet. Many of us schooled in Africa in toilets. You know what happened to me? When I was doing my bachelor's degree, I was living, my house was not too far from the school. So I was staying in the house and going to school from the house, from my parents' house. But when exams period drew closer, I moved into the campus. When I moved into the campus, my main problem in the campus was that I couldn't use the toilets. Even though the campus, the school had cleaners, but how are they doing? When you have like four different toilets for a big hostel that had like 300, 400, 500, 1,000 students. And so the cleaners will come to the toilet and clean the toilet twice a day, morning and the evening. So everybody will be taking a queue. You want to use the toilet immediately after the cleaners are finished, so that you can use a very clean environment. If you go to that toilet 1 hour after the cleaners are finished, you can't try to use it. And I remember when I was in my year one, one day, normally I was staying with my parents, but I went to school and I lived in the school. So what I did was I went to the toilet early in the morning. It was around 1 hour after the cleaners had finished, and I couldn't use that toilet. I couldn't. So what I would do is this: I will make sure I visit the toilet the first thing in the morning, immediately after the cleaners had finished, use the toilet, and I will make sure that I don't eat anything that will turn my stomach around. And I will go back to the house on Friday. Now imagine not going to the toilet within 4 days. Imagine what that's going to do. One day I couldn't hold myself. I was in the library and I told some friends and I said, I am going to the toilet. They were laughing at me. They said, don't try it. You cannot use it. I said, I will try it. No, the cleaners are doing a good job these days. When I enter that toilet and I open the door, that's one of the biggest universities in Nigeria. I entered the toilet within 1 second. The speed at which I jumped out. Many of you can relate what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. The speed at which I jumped out. Within 1 hour after the clearance had finished, I don't know how many students use that toilet. It was terrible. It was so bad that some students had to be using a kind of a chalk or pen to write on the wall. I can't forget that statement. Why are you so incorrigible, fellow students? I can never forget that word in my life. Why are you so incorrigible, fellow students? Because somebody wanted to use that toilet, and when he got there, it was destroyed completely. He said, within 1 hour, why are you so incorrigible, fellow students? And we will now be looking for staff toilet across the campus, right in the campus. So when I went to South Africa, and I went there 12 years ago, and I went to a student hostel, a student hall, and I entered their toilet, I felt like I should put a mattress on the floor and sleep there. I felt as if I was in Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York. I said, is this a toilet? I was going to the toilet every minute. I would go out, go and talk, go back again, inside. All kinds of perfumes, all kinds of deodorants, fully computerized. Everywhere was sparkling clean. All the water knob was silver and gold. Students use student hostel, and they have scores of toilets. So you cannot be giving 3 toilets out to 500 students. Different wings, different sections, because they have leaders and government that place premium on the hygiene of ordinary men. The hygiene of ordinary men. They have, as South Africa has a lot of social problems. South Africa has a lot of problems. They are not too different from other countries, but in the area of quality, because of the influence of the apartheid, they build universities that they fortify. Their universities are among the best in the world. I have schooled there before. People apply to study in UK, they are refused admission. Sorry. People apply to study in South Africa universities, they are refused admission. They apply to UK university will admit them. People apply to South African universities for admission, they are refused. They apply to US universities, they are admitted in US. After they have been rejected in South African university, I applied for a master's program in South African university, they refused me. The quality was too strong, and I didn't want to do what they asked me to do, because they wanted me to do a kind of a 1-year program. I said, I'm not doing it. I now applied to a UK university, UK admitted me. I said, what is happening here? Don't believe all these rankings that they use. Those rankings are sometimes political. I am not saying that universities in UK are not the best in the world, but some of those universities don't worth their salt. They don't worth the positioning they give to them. What am I saying here? Hygiene is a very important component of general well-being. The toilet environment we have, the way your home is, the way your surrounding is, scientifically it has been proven it can prolong people's life or it can shorten it. Lack of adequate hospitals and healthcare center. If you have headache, where do you go? Many of you listening to me, you enjoy self-medication. Self-medication has killed many people. There was a very, very brilliant Nigerian musician that died about a year ago. Fantastic guy. The guy was like 33. I won't mention his name. Very handsome guy. This guy was very good. He was very good. The guy was sick. He had some feelings in his body, and he went to a chemist, like a pharmacy, and he bought a particular drug, and he used that drug, and they discovered the drug was expired. The drug tore his kidney and his liver. Before they knew what was happening, he was gasping for breath. They took him to the clinic, and he was a dead man. Lack of adequate hospital, lack of adequate healthcare. Now, what makes this matter very, very sad to me is this. Majority of African leaders have direct access to foreign hospitals. And so, maybe they are doing it deliberately or not, I don't know. At the slightest pain, given the slightest pain in their body, they find their way to England. They find their way to South Africa, find their way to America, and take good care of themselves. But they leave the common man to struggle with the dilapidated clinics that have no facility, and even when they have facilities, unmaintained facility. And you have to go to South Africa. No, go go to South Africa through Ethiopia about a year ago. And I went to a particular African airport, and they said they weren't going to fly me with my family to South Africa without vaccination, meningitis vaccination. And they asked everybody coming in to go to a particular room and get injection. I said, get injection for what? They said, no, we have to give you injection. I said, me, I will give you my body to inject. I said, I'm not a Nigerian. I'm not a Ghanaian. They said, where are you from? I didn't tell them. And everybody was queuing and going inside the room with a woman carrying a syringe. Do like this. Turn your back. You put it there. Next. Do like this. I said, me, I will give you. And then you tell me that the syringe was used for an HIV patient. You forgot to sterilize it. And you start telling me story. And I was people that look educated. Every one of them was going to the same room, receiving injection. They didn't query the nurses. They didn't query the source. The nurses put a box on the table, put a syringe up, and exchange contents in the syringe. Did like this. I started putting syringe to their body. I created a scene. I said, I am not taking injection. And they delayed me. I sat down there. We argued it back and forth. Later on they said, we have to look for an alternative for you. Have you been to South Africa before? I said, I was 12 years ago. And I have actually even school there. I did something there. I did a project there and whatever. We argued back and forth. What is the conclusion of that story? I did not receive any injection. How do you go to a particular place and they ask you to turn your back and open your trousers or bring your arm and they want to push a ring in your body and you agree with them? And you agree with them. Nobody queried or questioned them. That is the level of gullibility of so many Africans. How do you go to a place and they ask you to bring your hand and they want to put injection in your body? You go to standard hospitals to receive injection. Standard hospitals that you trust. Not any small room in one airport or any kiosk. Makeshift kiosk. And the people are filing in, they are putting syringe in their body. I will make sure they disinfect, they have sterilized those syringes. I'm not a doctor, but I know that HIV can transfer from people to people, even without sexual contact. Ordinary barbing salon can transfer HIV. Ordinary syringe that are being used during treatment in clinics can transfer HIV. And there are other diseases that can be transferred through exchange of syringe. And I didn't trust those people. I didn't trust them. A white man will not ask you to bring to bring your body and bring your hand and put it in there. They will have announced ahead of time. They will have prepared. They will do it excellently. I cannot tell you how many people have carelessly put their head under the instrument of a barber. Careless barbing practices. The places where you barb your hair. The places where you go to do your hair. All of these little things open the door for the breakdown of our health. And when the health breaks down, vision breaks down. When the health breaks down, finances are affected. Families are torn apart. Children begin to cry over their mother. It can lead to loss of life. And when the productive portion of a society begins to fall sick, the society is worse off. In the UK now, there is a working population between the age of 18 and 45. In every society, there is a working population. These are the active group of people that work and generate taxes. So when these people are going into extinction, they are becoming sick, they are dying before 50, it is a serious problem for the future of that nation. It is a serious problem. And so, what am I saying here? Lack of adequate hospitals, good hospitals, and bad self-medication, bad medical orientation. This man is a doctor. In many cases, you find people that have not even finished their medical school, claiming that they are doctors, brandishing stethoscopes on their necks. Brandishing stethoscopes. I'm a doctor. You can read, I can go online now and read about the anatomy of the human brain for 3 weeks. I am a researcher and a consultant and I'm educated. I can read it, wear a white garment, brandish a stethoscope on my neck, and tell people how the brain functions. Does that make me a doctor? Becoming a doctor, becoming an engineer or anything is beyond the theories that you have mastered. They take them through training. They go to medical school. They give them cadavers. They treat living people using them as samples and experiments. They treat corpses. They do all kind of detailed examination before they hand over the certificate to them, so that you can master the anatomy of the human brain. Doesn't mean that anybody that has a brain problem, you just begin to push urine in their head and put water there and administer all kind of drugs and destroy people's lives. Unfortunately, the preponderance of this kind of errors are in Africa. A lot of people that are quack doctors, quack nurses, quack physiotherapists who know nothing, and the systems we have are so vulnerable to exploitation. People can exploit the system because there are so many loopholes. So many loopholes in the UK, in Canada, in America. You are recertified. If I'm a project manager, they will give you like 2-3 years. After 3 years, they will ask you to come and recertify. Are you still good? If I'm a doctor, they recertify you. You can't be practicing for life. In many African countries, there is nothing like recertification. So when you bring your body under the stethoscope of a man that has been a doctor for 30 years, with no self-development, no personal development, no recertification, no seminar attendance, no workshop attendance, and it would have become a cake. And we all become rusty at times without training. What training does to people is to brush them up. We become rusty when we don't go for training. So I want you to take responsibility over your body. Don't go into any place. Don't take your head to anybody to barb for you. You have to have choice barbers that you know and trust, or even buy your own barbing equipment. I have my own clipper that I use. Sometimes I don't use my clipper. I use their clipper, but I trust those people. Sometimes I bring my clipper. Of course, we take risks sometimes. It is God that is helping all of us, but don't deliberately subject yourself to the carelessness of different barbers. You use different barbers. You go to different places. And the same applies to women. This teaching is so sensitive. There are so many personal things that have to do with our hygiene that I can't be discussing now in public. So many personal things that have to do with our hygiene. So many personal things. So many personal things. And if we don't take care of these things and take responsibility, you find Christians pushing the problems they face due to health challenge on God and the devil. This thing is spiritual. Not all health problems are demonic. There are many self-inflicted health problems. Not all of them are demonic. Many people that are giving Satan undue honor and undue attention because of their health, they are just making the head of the devil to swear. If you do the right thing, you will live right. So in 2018, I want us to be more careful. Be more careful. See your body as an asset and not a liability. Regardless of the shape of your body, whether you are fat or thin or tall or short, that body is an asset. It is not a liability. And there is something, everybody has different body metabolism. There are some people, the kind of food they eat, in terms of size, in terms of quantity, will not affect them. There are some other people, they eat a particular food, it affects them. When you go to a dietitian or a doctor and they tell you, don't eat salt, when you get to 40, reduce your sugar. I love, because I lived in a country where there are a lot of sugary things. So my wife is on my neck every time. Don't drink Coke. So I've got to be conscious. Sometimes I am guilty of that. You want to take juice, you want to take orange drink, take apple drink. And when you are over 40, you must tame down those things. Tone them down. And I know she's saying the truth when she's telling me that. So, how many times have you taken water today? And then, how many times have you taken water in a week? There are standard glasses of water that you have to take every week. There is a minimum level, maximum level of carbohydrate that must be in your body system. All of these things are alien to many of us. An African man just wants to fill his tummy. As long as my tummy is full, then I am okay for the day. Regardless of the content of that food, just fill my tummy. Just fill my tummy. I have done the same thing for many years as well, before I began to get myself enlightened about the dangers and the risk of living a careless life with your health. Sometimes illiteracy can be damaging to our health. Illiteracy. An illiterate person doesn't care about protein or carbohydrate or fat. Anything I can eat in the morning. There are some food you eat them at night, you will not be able to sleep very well. So you know your own body and you adjust your diet to suit your body metabolism. There are food I cannot eat during the day because of the nature of my work. Now, as a pastor, I want to preach, and there are certain food I cannot be eating because I will just get on the altar, carry the microphone, and I will be feeling dizzy. I do a lot of reading and writing at night. There are some things I don't eat at night. And my wife will ask me, do you want to eat? I say, no, I don't want that. I'll just take 2 slices of bread or take a drink or something because I want to feel light. Sometimes I want to wake up at night and pray. And I cannot be eating solid food at night because I will just sleep off. I won't be able to pray. So that is my own body. Somebody else's body can accommodate that. The way our bodies are designed to process carbohydrate, to do all the protein processing, they are different. And if a doctor listening to me, I believe you're going to agree with me that most of our bodies behave normally in a particular form. But sometimes, depending on age, on environments, on our tasks and our assignments and our responsibilities, there are some differences. Now, let me tell you something. How do you improve the quality of your life? How do you improve the quality of your health in 2018? What are the things you must do as an individual? Number one, you must eat good food. Good food and balanced diet are not expensive. Now, I didn't say go to Sheraton Hotel in London and spend £500. No, I went to an hotel in London about 10 or 11 years ago. Dorchester. Yes, it's called Dorchester Hotel. That's the hotel that the Queen of England uses. Now, I was invited by someone for a meeting there. So when I got to Dorchester and we stood there, they told us that a glass of water was £200. And so they asked me, do I want water? I said, I don't want anything. About 12 years ago. Do you want food? I don't want. When you told me the glass of water is £200, water alone, how much will the food cost? I don't want anything. So we stood and we were talking on a particular place, and they said to stand up and talk inside this place is £400. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. It's my own blood. I'm using it to talk. So you charge me for talking. They say it's £400 to stand up and talk. Now to drink water, 1 cup of water, £200. To stand up and talk is £400. Now I'm not talking into a cup. I'm not talking into a microphone. I am just using my oxygen, my blood, and my mouth to talk. So I dragged the man that I came to meet. We went downstairs. We left that premises. So these people want to finish me completely today. I came from a country where they sell 1 sachet of water as at that time for maybe 10p, converting into pounds. And they told me 1 bottle of water is £200. Oh, I said, why? And I asked them, oh, this is the hotel that the Queen of England uses, the Dorchester Hotel. So from that day, I didn't forget the Dorchester. Anytime they mention Dorchester, I don't go there. I go to other 5-4-star hotel where my money and my finance can handle. You don't need to go into debt to eat good food. You don't need to go into debt to eat good food. It is your responsibility as a man or a woman to eat well. Remember the scientific finding I gave you now? Women live longer than men. So our wives, please give us good food. You live longer than us. Please give us good food. So that the number of years we have to live on that, the remaining food will be in the store. While we are gone, you can be eating it. Women live longer than men. It's a proven scientific research. If you live up to 80, your wife will live up to 100. If you live up to 70, your wife will live up to 90. So it's better for you to marry a good woman. It is a terrible thing to marry a bad woman. If the woman is going to live longer than you, you must make sure that you have a good wife that will give you good food. So at least the few years we have, the 75 we have, the 80 we have, we will eat good food. Good food. Thank God for my wife. We will eat good food. We will eat good food. Please eat good food. And eat it well. Don't eat. Do you see the picture of children in Africa whose bellies are huge? They have pot bellies. Their neck are small. They call it kwashoko. Is it kwashoko? I think it's kwashoko. Now, when you eat food that is carbohydrates, an African man will eat cassava flour in the morning, cassava flour in the evening, cassava flour in the night, because we think that the bigger the food is, the healthier is this. No, your body will process the food and remove the little that you need, and the rest will go out through the exhaust. You know the exhaust pipe. The rest will go out through the exhaust. Your body will take little and throw out the remaining. So when you are putting cassava flour in the morning in your body, you are overworking your system. The same thing in the afternoon. overworking it. In the same thing in the evening, you're overworking it. Carbohydrate is not healthy all the time. You've got to balance your diet. I am not a dietitian, but I know little about diets. You've got to balance your diet and eat the right thing, drink the right portion of water every day. If you are doing all of this and then there is an attack on your health, you now have the moral authority to go before God and pray to God. I am eating well. Now you're not eating when you are praying and binding Satan. You are binding yourself. You are binding yourself and you are praying. Every enemy that is working against my health, die. You are praying against yourself. You are the number one enemy working against your own health. Thank God that God doesn't answer all prayers. If God were to be Satan, many of us would have been dead, including myself. If God were to be Satan, because all the prayers we pray, sometimes God doesn't answer them. All my enemies are working against my health, die! And you are number one on the list. Because you eat cassava in the morning, you eat cassava in the evening, and God will be laughing in heaven. If I answer this prayer, this boy will be dead. This boy will be dead if I answer this prayer. Thank God for unanswered prayer. I learned that thing from a man of God. Thank God for unanswered prayer. If all the prayers you and I pray are answered, most of us would have died. But God will just sort them out. If you pick one, leave the rest. This is a foolish prayer. He's just praying foolishly. That's my son. This boy is foolish. You just pick one. If I answer this prayer now, we will just come to heaven now. That is how serious. It is very funny, but that's how serious it is. You cannot neglect your responsibility and shift it on God. God doesn't determine how fat you become or how thin you become. God doesn't determine how fat you are or how thin. You made yourself fat. Now, I don't want to go into that now because there are people who by nature of their gene, their family or bringing their parents, they become huge and big. They didn't make themselves. But I am speaking on the average now. If you observe that your eating habit has piled fat into your body, Satan is not the one that put that fat there. In fact, to be a glutton is a sin in the scripture as a Christian. What does a glutton do? Anything edible, anything eatable, anything drinkable at any time. I did a teaching in the church a few months back. Satan, one man of God was saying something, one pastor was saying something, and I agree with him. He said when he was not a pastor, when he was not a Christian, he was into witchcraft. He said, and anytime they want to catch any powerful man in the occultic world, listen to this. Anytime they want to catch any powerful man in the occultic world, they catch those people using two strategies. If they can't catch you by your mouth, they catch you through your sexual organs. Two methods that they use to catch people. He said that they use your mouth, they poison your food, or they send a lady to you to catch you. Anytime they want to catch a powerful person, they use two methods. He said that they use your mouth or your sexual organ. The same thing is happening in our generation today. I'm going to add the story of very anointed pastors. Satan tries to catch them through their food. He can't get them. But we send a lady to them and they will fall. And Satan uses this strategy every time. Every time. Every time. So what am I saying here? The way you eat can open the door for the devil. Satan always looks for advantage. The Bible says don't give him opportunity. Don't let him take advantage. He will use foolishness and ignorance to kill people. Anywhere you see ignorance, you see Satan. He loves ignorant people. So when you begin to eat wrong food, disease and sickness will enter, and Satan will put the key and lock it. So all the time you need to discipline yourself will not be compared to the time you'll be looking for solution, traveling from Kenya to India. The time you need to discipline yourself. Somebody has said the pains, the weight of discipline is always smaller than the weight of regret. Regret always weighs bigger and larger than discipline. The little control that you and I should give our body. I can't eat this now. It cannot be compared with the pain involved in going to hospital every time, spending money, traveling around all over the world. I have lost a lot of friends, close and distant. Now, I didn't say anybody that dies because they didn't behave very well. No, there are many circumstances that lead to untimely deaths. And it is my prayer that everybody listening to me here, the Lord will give you long life in the mighty name of Jesus. Nobody will die young, your family, among your children, your wife, your husband, in the mighty name of Jesus. But let us do a thorough self-audit. Self-audit. Audit yourself. I am speaking to myself as well. Number 3, Sleep for the right amount of hours. I am guilty of this. Sleep for the right amount of hours. I want to do all the work, write all the books, do all the work. If anybody dies today, the world will not stop functioning. If any Christian dies today, the world will not stop functioning. If anybody dies in their place of work, they will mourn that person for a few weeks, replace the person immediately. Let me tell you this story. When the late Archbishop Benson Idahosa died in Nigeria, the Archbishop Idahosa, he died in 1998. They called his son in London. The son was in London. And the son was in his room. And they told him that the Archbishop had died. The man jumped out of his room, went into the road in London, a main road, and stood on the road and looked. All the cars and businesses and people were functioning. And the guy said, the world is still working when my daddy just died. The world is still working. Didn't they know that my daddy just died? The world is still working when my daddy just died. That was what the first statement that came out of the mouth of the son of Archbishop Benson Idahosa. He went to the main road. Cars were moving from left to right. People were carrying their loads, their bags, doing shopping. Everywhere was busy in London. The guy said, the world is still functioning. Don't they know that my daddy has died? That is a statement of aberration. There is nothing in this world that will stop working if a Christian kills himself due to bad hygiene, bad health condition. Everybody will mourn that person 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. They will continue their job. That is how serious this matter I'm discussing is with. You and I must take responsibility. Sleep for the right amount of hours. Children have been advised by doctors to sleep around 10 to 12 hours to keep their brain in optimal functioning position. Adults, 6 to 8 hours. It varies. 7 hours sometimes, 8 hours sometimes. You can't be sleeping 3 hours and come out and be boasting to people. I sleep for 2 hours per night. I'm a hardworking person. You are killing yourself. I know pastors who come out and say, I don't sleep. They want to say it so that they can divert attention to people, to themselves, that they are the most hardworking and serious person. But you are killing yourself. Sleeping for 3 hours because you are a pastor. No man of God can save the whole world. You do your portion, you leave the rest. You do your portion, you leave the rest. Watchman Nee said, Watchman Nee, a Chinese revivalist, he died at the age of 33. He said, God gave me a message and he gave me a donkey to deliver the message to my world. But I killed the donkey before delivering the message. He mismanaged his body. He was walking and he died at 33. I can give you the story of so many people, pastors, that died early. Not because it was God's time for them to die, but they overworked themselves. Somebody has said, if you refuse to rest, men may soon lay you to rest. If you refuse to rest, men may soon lay you to rest. That will not be your portion in the name of Jesus. Your body has been designed to work at the right time and to rest. And this issue of working in the day, of resting in the day and working at night, that is not the way our body was designed. I can tell you stories of people who died in the UK because they go and work during the day. So they will go and work at night and sleep during the day. Some of these things can't be helped because people need money and their job. But anybody who works at night will tell you it is never equal to sleeping at night. Even when I wake up and pray sometimes at night and I want to sleep again, I have broken that cycle. If you are working at night and sleeping on the day, you will see that you'll be feeling tired. You feel worn out because your body has not been designed to work at night. Your body has been designed to rest at night and work during the day. So if you have found yourself in that situation, find something to do. Just trust God to open a new door for you that will make you to rest at night and work during the day. When you rest, when people are working, when people are resting, you will be working. That is a known fact. So you must make sure you create the right time to rest, separate it from the time to work. Work-life balance. The last one I want to say here, we are all guilty of it. Go on vacation. African men don't go on vacation. Walk, 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 walk. Money, 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 money. My late mom will tell you the lifespan of a walk is longer than the lifespan of a man. You know what I'm talking about. The lifespan of a walk is longer than the lifespan of a man. Africans don't go on vacation. I know people where I'm living who are doing 3 jobs. 3 jobs. 3 jobs. 3 jobs. They go in the morning 6 hours. They resume in the evening. They rest. And they have barely 3 hours to rest. And they receive thousands of dollars as income. And they feel happy. I'm making a lot of money. But you are killing yourself silently. You are killing yourself silently. There is no amount of money in this world that can satisfy a man. Money is an insatiable concept and entity. All the richest people in this world, they still want to make more money. Everybody wants to make. It's an inelastic need. Money is an inelastic need. The appetite for money does not stop. Because when you make an amount of money and you begin to spend it, your scale of preference changes. Your mindset changes. Appetite changes. Taste changes. You're wearing a shirt of $10. Now you're a millionaire. You want to wear a shirt of $1,000. When you become a millionaire, you want to become a billionaire and wear a shirt of $10,000. If you don't control greed and covetousness, it will give you that mindset that the more money I have, the bigger I am in society, the better I am, and the more respected I will be. A man's value is not determined by his valuables. Self-worth is different from net worth. They are 2 different entities. So you don't kill yourself by burdening yourself with too much work. The generation we live in now is the generation of smart workers. I said this in one of my teachings. There is right work. There is hard work. There is smart work. The people controlling the world today as the smart workers. The people who do little. But that little is so impactful on the world, they make all the money. A little amount of effort to design a software and the whole restaurant in your city are chasing you for that software because it can solve a major problem. And somebody else that is sweating, working 23 hours a day in the factory is having nothing to show for it. So there is a difference between hard work and smart work. Hard work is the foundation of smart work. But hard work should not be the end of our life. After consuming the values of hard work, begin to think smart. Begin to think smart. That is what people like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, that's what they are doing. They don't have 2 businesses. This Facebook guy has only 1 business. Only 1 business. You know, I was talking to somebody, I was saying, I have this business, I have that business, and all of them put together, they are not 0.005% of the money in the hand of Mark Zuckerberg. I said, so what is it about? Why should you stretch yourself to 20 places? Because I want to do 20 businesses and put together all of them is not even money. And some people will do only one thing. How many businesses does C. Ronaldo? How many businesses does he do? He just plays football on the field for 1 hour 30 minutes and is buying all the Lamborghinis of this world. I'm not saying you should be buying Lamborghinis if you don't have the money to do it. But if you like it, that's up to you. But what am I saying here? Smart work shift attention away from burden. You are connecting to the wisdom of God. Unique idea. An idea that will solve a major problem. If you can develop a solution today that will solve the problem of plane crash, that when a plane wants to crash, it sends an alert to the aviation authority, and it gives a kind of a system that will make people to be detached from the plane, and they be landed safely, and they test it and it works. You have become another Bill Gates. All the companies that make planes, Boeing, all of them will be pursuing you. So in 2018, it is not how much work you do that matters, because Africans don't go on vacation. Think about smart work and look for time to rest. Take vacation and rest. I am guilty of the same thing. My wife has to drag me many times and drag me. I want to write more books. It is very good to be hardworking, but not at the expense of the time you need to rest. Somebody has said, if you refuse to rest, God forbid, men may soon lay you to rest. That will not be your portion in Jesus' name. I'm speaking to myself as well. You must rest when men rest. You must walk when men walk. That is my humble admonition to us this afternoon. Health and general body well-being, they are very strategic. When the health of a man breaks down, vision breaks down, career breaks down. I want to go to Harvard, breaks down. I want to marry somebody, breaks down. I want to be this, I want to go to Jerusalem. Everything breaks down. After God, the next most important thing in your life and on earth is your health and my health. I want us to take ownership of our health. Don't eat anything anytime. Don't drink anything anytime. Sleep at the right time. Be very intentional. Be intentional. Make it as a project. This body is an asset. I must not turn it to a liability. There are many people, their bodies are liabilities on them now. They are in the hospital. And they are praying and regretting, why didn't I create enough time to manage my body? This body should not become a liability. That is your earth suit. The jacket given to you by God to execute your task on earth. If anything happens to it, that is the end of vision and dream. That will not be your portion in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you so much for this great time we spent together. Tomorrow is another glorious session. Join me at 1 p.m. New York and Toronto time, and at 6 p.m. UK time and 7 p.m. West African time for another explosive session, Value System Change Agenda. Thank you so much. God bless you.